I forgot to tell you something that was very weird that happened yesterday. It wasn't just odd. It was downright scary. Guys, if you've been following my story recently, I've had some really, really, really off things happening. Encounters with people, FBI agents pulling me over, weird people in unmarked vans, which I took pictures of, because Auntie's got the Nikon P1000. I think I got his birthmark on his butt cheek. I'm just kidding, he had pants on. But what he didn't have was any kind of an identification on his van, and he got up in a cherry picker, and he was in my communications box in my backyard. Yeah. Anyways, long story short, but I'm also an ex-psychic clairvoyant medium. I have seen and spoken to spirits since the age of 4, but I denounced that in October of 2021 when God told me, kiddo, those have not been spirits. Those have been demons all along. I was born again and I stopped, and so did seeing the spirits, like poof, immediately. And so did all of my anxiety in my world that I lived with since I was a little girl. Just vanished. I have not had spirit encounters, really. I mean, I've seen shadow people out of the corner of my eyes, but I know that's going to happen because it's going to happen for everybody. Whether you're a psychic, clairvoyant medium like I was and able to see spirits, doesn't matter at this point. The veil is so thin. Multiple people have been I'm tired. Multiple people have been saying and stating that they are seeing shadow people out of the corner of their eyes. This is something you guys are going to have to get used to, because right now our world is flooded with demonic entities. Oh, first things first, TikTok. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. All things stated here, just speculation. I got boots. Let's go. New boot goofing. Anyways, what happened yesterday, I don't know. I don't know if it was of the spirit realm. I don't know if it was, I don't know. All I know is I need to share it because it had me shook. All day yesterday, I, along with most of the realtors where I live, was attending real estate continuing education class. I can't say it, and that's the last time I'm going to try it. That's like 52 takes. After that class, though, I went to go meet a dear friend of mine who is also a realtor. She has offices, and I went to go meet with her. And as she had pulled up, she and I were on the phone. Of course, we were going to hang up because we were only feet away, right? I was in my car, she was in hers. And I know what I heard was hands down not her voice. As we were hanging up, the second I hung up, I heard a very, very clear, gravelly, raspy, dark voice say, "Auntie." Well, that wasn't very good. Hold on, let me see if I can try it again. "Auntie." Like, kind of like, no, very much like that. And it was very clear. It was one word, and it was auntie. Yo, I literally stood there shook. It took me back to all of the demonic encounters I had had as a medium. But at the same time, it kind of made me wonder if, I know this sounds crazy, I know this sounds stupid, if it has something to do with the very real possibility that I'm being watched for the words and the truth that I share here on this app. I don't know. All I know is when we had hung up, after we hung up, the split second after we hung up, I heard very loud and clear on my speakerphone, because I always talk on speakerphone because of my neck, something or somebody say, "Empty." Now I got to work on that because that wasn't quite it yet. Well, maybe I should just count it as a blessing that I cannot reenact something that sounded as evil as that did. I made a video that same day, and I was just going through the comments. My video is actually about the fact that there's been some very strange things happening in my home. Items that I have so tucked away and locked away, so deep in where I lock my good things away, my personal things, that you literally would have to dig to the back of where I lock these things up to even get to it. It is a speech that my best friend Andrea wrote for our vow renewal ceremony in 2022. It is literally tucked in the very, very back of where I lock things away. The other day, it was sitting on the bench in my bathroom. The other day, a door I had open from my garage where I draw to the outside, it opens inward, and it's heavy, and there's no way a breeze could even take it. I came out before I went to bed to go shut it and lock it, only to find that it was already shut and locked. I asked my husband, "Did you go out and shut the door and lock it?" He's like, "No, I haven't been out there in a bit." And this door behind me, the one that goes into my home, the other day when we had to go do something for real estate, as I was leaving, like I always do, I make sure that it is securely shut. When we came home, it was wide open. Weird things are definitely happening. Getting pulled over by the FBI after my brand new car that's been sitting in my driveway for 2.5 days since I bought it. I hadn't moved it. my car that is very easily to trace, my old car that I'd been driving for 10 years with personalized license plates on it and a very specific recognizable decal that is in honor of my best friend that has been on there since 2017. Well, that car, it's been gone. And this mysterious Mercedes now is parked in my driveway. And it is untraceable because it's got those dealer paper temporary registration on it. Anyways, the very first time I got to drive it was last Tuesday, and 3 minutes into my drive, I was down the street of my parents, and I stopped at a stop sign I've stopped at since, I could drive 532 times. An FBI agent in a very blacked out SUV pulled me over, claiming I ran the stop sign. FYI, it was on auto drive. So no, I did not run that stop sign. He did not ask me for my driver's license. That's pretty strange. Claimed I'd run the stop sign, and as I opened my door because I was so nervous, I haven't been pulled over in years. I didn't know how to roll down my window in my brand new car. There's too many buttons at the time. I'm a dork. So when he pulled me over, I just opened the door and said, I don't know how to roll down the window. But as he explained to me, I pulled you over because you didn't stop that stop sign. He looked beyond me and behind me to see if there was anybody else in the car. Didn't ask me for my insurance, like I said, or my identification, driver's license. And just like that, he just said, be safe, have a good day, and left. I spoke with a friend of mine who is in law enforcement, and I've loved this fella for a long time. I've known him for a very long time. He has been in law enforcement well over 2 decades, and he confirmed after I explained step by step what happened to me when the FBI pulled me over, which he also explained they cannot do that. And they sure as shit, excuse me, Lord, are not going to stop somebody for running a stop sign, especially when they didn't stop, or when they did. Because Mercedes, she stopped. And after explaining what and how that whole situation went, he said, kiddo, yeah, I really hate to tell you this, but your suspicions that they were really just pulling you over to confirm that you don't have a guest visiting or you're out of town, they were trying to identify that as you, your new car. Hands down, without a doubt, that is what we would do in law enforcement whenever we wanted to identify somebody who would be linked to whatever new car. Yes, your suspicions were right. Anyways, long story short, yesterday, that shook me. Was it a demonic entity? I don't know. Was it some sort of I don't know. All I know is every day, every time I turn around, it seems one more thing after another. Some strange, weird, unsettling thing is happening. I know that I speak truth that they don't want me to share. In April, on the 11th, the discovery I made about up there, that thing that usually used to give me a sunburn in 5 minutes, that didn't even change the color of my skin after standing underneath it at a car dealership for 7 hours with no shade. That's strange. After I made my video explaining, that's not normal, that's not familiar, the sun, that's when all of this has started. People who speak truth, the truth that they don't want others to know, like, Kyle Marissa Roth, and myself, trust and believe. If you are a truther like myself, know this. You are not flying under the radar, and in fact, we are all being very, very watched. But yesterday, that was creepy. Empty. And it was loud and clear, gravelly, raspy, deep, dark, and evil sounding. And it was clearly the word, one word, anti.